Hey, Bolor, Daphne here. Thank you for sending in the most fantastic pack of work. Goodness me, your corrections are amazing. Such a fantastic way to improve, to really go back and just think about what you did that you could improve on is just absolutely brilliant. Well done. Really, just the best way to use the feedback that we give you to improve. Congratulations. Now, the template is there to guide you, but at the same time, I'm also going to show you that you don't have to use it all the time. It's there just to help the coherence mostly. Obviously, there's some lovely words in it, there's some lovely structures in it, so it helps get your essay in a great shape. But, for example, things like this, I'm immediately going to say to you, okay, experts, who are these people? So for me, I think it's quite nice to say management consultants, for example, and business professionals throughout the world, because this is extra points, if you like. It's extra points because it's extra language. Throughout both the developed and developed world have debated whether a country's economic prosperity depends directly on. So just move that there. So the adverb splits this. Depends directly on. You don't need that. The length of annual working hours or not. Okay, annual, yeah, or even daily. Some experts believe that the longer working hours have a direct, you don't need the, you're talking in general, have a direct influence on, watch that preposition, the growth of an economy. So, the growth of an economy. Personally, I strongly disagree. Very nice, good, very clear position. This essay will argue that between these two phenomena are that these two phenomena don't need that are not likely to have a straight impact on each other. Watch out the prepositions. These are dependent prepositions, which means they have to go together. It has an impact on, influence on, that's it. Using examples, okay, good. On the one hand, there's ample evidence that economic development of a nation mostly depends on state policy regarding its management of different types of resources rather than working long hours. Very nice. That's a fantastic sentence, super clear. It's true that. Don't use quotes. Make it yours. Nobody's going to know. And it's more kind of academic, isn't it? It's true that the most successful men work smart, not hard. You could put this in italics because I'm going to say that's not a very IELTS, not italics in inverted commas. It's not a very IELTS word. Work smart, not hard. All right, you could put that. I'm just a bit cautious about this, okay? Just because the examiners are so straight. Work smart, not hard. I'd kind of rather you said it in your own words. In other words, so here you go. It's not about. Don't use that. It's too informal. Keep it super formal. It's not about how hard, but we've got hard here. How tiring maybe and long hours the workers actually can now how hard and long let's do it this way. The hours performed or the hours undertaken are. So I'm changing this round. It's not about how tiring and long the hours undertaken are. So we've gone into a kind of passive structure here. This comes out because I don't want to repeat workers again. It's getting a bit repetitive. That just cuts. It's about how well the nation manages their time, resources, and their time and resources for better output. Stuff is really informal. Yeah, use words. Go time and resources for better output. Okay, so it's not about this, it's about that. The recent empirical study by just Clockify uh, demonstrated that developed countries such as Germany, yeah, um, were, because the study's finished, so just past passive there, were ranked the lowest number of working hours, whereas developing countries, uh, and then don't repeat ranked, put registered. Oh, you've got 1920. Oh, I hadn't seen that. My apologies. Okay, okay. Study demonstrated that. Okay, but doesn't need to be a passive. It's just have ranked, and they have recorded. Okay, well done. Okay, good example. Very nice paragraph, links together. You're on point. So this is flowing really nicely. On the other hand, although there's a case that overtime working could bring lumps of income, ooh, income bonus on a few occasions. Use bonus. The impacts of those incidences, plural, cannot be overstated. This is because of the fact that you can't have a and then weeks. Between longer working weeks and annual productivity rate. Now, you don't need between. That was the same in the intro. That longer working weeks and annual productivity do, because it's two of them, do not have obvious direct influence on each other. Just watch out these little prepositions. Yeah. On each other. But conversely, reverse impacts are more likely to be present, especially in the long run. Reverse impacts, and now it needs you to tell me what. Such as, otherwise it's a little bit kind of up in the air. I need something solid here. And don't use that, it's a bit informal. And then don't go take, for example, just go for example. Recent extensive study. Okay, can we not have Clockify? Can we have someone else? We've had them. Indicates that although workers in Mexico have almost the longest annual shifts in the world, their GDP per hour is among the lowest. Very good example. Therefore, there is no explicit correlation between. Very nice. That's a very clear paragraph. Just develop it there. Tell me what some of the negatives might be. To conclude, I firmly disagree that countries could be more, really, where work is shorter. Predicted that. Don't use shorter again. Use reduced, maybe. But efficient spending time will increasingly grow. Very nice. Well done. That's a super essay. You are writing with great skill. Very interesting. I particularly like that you are absolutely answering the question, which is not always, people don't always do this, but you are on point, and that is really, really good. Nice task achievement, very good coherence there, and lovely language as well. The corrections I've looked at, that's lovely. Let's just do this bar chart here. So bar chart, these shoe sales. The bar chart illustrates. Oh, there we go. The amount of brown sales in 9 European countries in 2018. Overall, the most number of sold shoes were brown. Just go brown. In those, or brown leather. In those 9 countries in the given year. Now, the highest number of black shoes were bought by, here's passive, Hungarians, plural, lots of them, whereas the least proportion of these, that's the black ones, were obtained in France. It's lovely to put passive in there. It's great language. Make sure you get it absolutely right there. Were obtained in France. In the case of brown shoes, the greatest percentage was sold good in Poland, while the smallest number of them were retailed in Belgium. Well done. Furthermore, the significant difference between the sold. Well done. The most significant difference. Nice. So we've got to picking up lots and lots of fabulous language here. Well done. So most significant difference, really good. In terms of brown shoes, one of the greatest amounts. Now, the greatest, yeah, the greatest amount were bought in 2000. Okay, the greatest amount. Oh, okay, the greatest amount bought in 2018 was in Poland at 130,000. Now we write it like this: 130,000, followed by. Now, rather than giving me all these numbers, which is really boring, France with sales in a range of between X and Y. It's a much neater way to do it. I don't need all the numbers. I can see them. If I want to look at them, I'll go and look at them. Yeah. Okay. In contrast, so we don't use on the other hand, we use in contrast. The highest proportion of black shoes were sold in Hungary at 138, followed by Belgium, Hungary, and the UK about 120,000. Again, I don't think you need to choose those numbers. Okay, you could have followed by Italy with 20,000 less, and less, and go while Belgium and the UK purchased similar amounts at 100. So grouping these countries together, don't group, it's good to group them, but don't group all of them together, because otherwise it's just, there's not enough to say really, is there? Now you should, what are you doing on your word count? Yeah, 187, okay, fantastic, good. It felt like it almost could be a bit longer, but you've got quite a long intro overall thing here. So let me go back. Have you given me the full details? Yes, you've talked about Belgium. I think this really big contrast you need to almost make specifically. Belgian shoppers purchased the lowest quantity of brown, whereas their numbers of black shoes were similar to those of the UK. Just link and group the data as much as you can, but you've done that well. I particularly like this overview. So just make sure here you don't give me too many numbers. Yeah, you can do this instead. It's you're summarizing. This is what you have to do, summarize. Don't tell me everything. But two really, really good tasks, and well done.